Ever notice how some healthy ice creams feel off? Like you finish the pint and your gut instantly files a complaint? I used to blame sugar, or maybe the calories, but it turns out the real trouble sits deeper. And honestly, it's pretty wild. Research suggests a lot of these trendy tubs hide a mixture of ingredients that tends to irritate your gut, your hormones, even your mood. Not in a dramatic way, more like a slow, quiet drain. Emulsifiers, natural flavors, seed oils, tiny doses, but they stack up. And suddenly, you wonder why your stomach feels tight, or why you're craving more right after eating. It might look clean on the label, light, organic, low carb. Yet the mix inside often pushes your system in directions you don't want. So today, I'm breaking down what's really going on. The 5 traps I wish someone warned me about earlier. You know what's strange? Those only 300 calories per pint ice creams always look like a dream, until your body reacts like you ate something way heavier. I kept wondering why. Then it clicked. These brands usually swap real cream for lab-style thickeners and emulsifiers. Polysorbate 80, carboxymethylcellulose. Names that sound harmless, but, as research suggests, might nudge your gut into a pretty irritated state. Not instantly, more like a slow itch inside your microbiome, the kind that sometimes links to bloating, sugar cravings, and that weird, foggy feeling. And the crazy part? A lot of these formulas tend to mimic the same inflammatory patterns seen in animal studies. Not disease-level stuff, just enough chaos to throw your digestion off rhythm. So yeah, low calorie doesn't mean low impact. Sometimes it's the opposite. If your stomach flips after light ice cream, you're not imagining it. Ever try a plant-based ice cream and think, wow, tastes clean, but your gut tells a different story later? I had that moment way too often, and eventually I realized the pattern. These tubs are usually built on industrial seed oils, sunflower, canola, soybean, the whole trio. Research suggests these oils tend to oxidize fast, creating byproducts that your body doesn't exactly love. And the kicker? They might already be slightly degraded before they even reach the factory. So the ice cream hits you with this quiet, lingering stress on your metabolism. Not dramatic, just enough to mess with energy, skin, or digestion. Then come the gums and stabilizers. Sounds minor, but for many people they stack up like sandpaper inside the gut. A bit here, a bit there, and suddenly you feel puffy or crampy after a healthy vegan scoop. So yeah, dairy-free isn't always the gentle option it claims to be. Sometimes it's just a softer mask. Ever grab one of those protein-packed ice creams thinking it'll help your workout recovery? I did, many times. And every time I wondered why my stomach felt tight and my energy tanked an hour later. Here's what seems to be going on. These brands often load the mix with whey isolate, sucralose, maltodextrin, and carrageenan. On paper, it looks fit. In real life, it can hit your system like a metabolic roller coaster. Maltodextrin spikes you fast. Sucralose tends to disrupt your gut microbiome. Carrageenan? Often linked to irritation and that thick, heavy feeling. And the combo creates this weird loop. Sharp glucose swings, cravings, bloating. It's not about protein being bad. It's the whole artificial stack around it that pushes your system off balance. So yeah, the fuel your gains pint sometimes does the opposite. It drains the momentum instead of boosting it. You ever notice how the word natural on a label instantly relaxes you? It used to work on me every time, until I learned what that word actually hides. Natural flavors sounds clean, but research suggests it's basically a general term for dozens, sometimes hundreds of lab-made compounds. They're tiny in dose, sure, yet they tend to nudge your cravings, your dopamine, your appetite. And the craziest part? You never really know what's inside that blend. Then there are mono and diglycerides. They share similar inflammatory structures to trans fats. Not extreme levels, just enough to quietly stress your metabolism over time. Corn syrup, carrageenan, stabilizers, all stacked under a sweet, friendly, made with real ingredients slogan. And yeah, the flavor hits hard. That's the point. The mix is engineered to keep you reaching for more. So natural doesn't always mean simple. Sometimes it's just good marketing in a cozy sweater.
Ever taste one of those old-school childhood ice creams and feel that instant wave of nostalgia? I get it. I loved them too. But wow, my body started reacting very differently once I paid attention. Most of these fun pints lean heavily on high fructose corn syrup, artificial colors, propylene glycol, and carrageenan. Research suggests this combo might hit you with fast glucose swings, cravings, and that weird sugar hangover the next morning. Not in a dramatic medical way, just this foggy, sluggish vibe that keeps stacking up. And here's something else. Those bright colors and cool swirls, they tend to send some kids into hyperdrive, while adults feel the crash a bit later. It's almost like the dessert pulls you up fast, then drops you hard. Nostalgia feels amazing. But the ingredient list behind it? Sometimes it's a plot twist you don't expect at all. You ever stare at an ice cream label and think, looks fine to me? Yeah, I used to do that too. Until I realized the real catch sits in the small print. Here's the simple rule I follow now. The shorter the ingredient list, the calmer my gut feels. Cream, egg yolks, vanilla, cocoa, maybe a clean sweetener like monk fruit or stevia. When the list looks like a normal kitchen, my body usually responds way better. Now, the red flags. Natural flavors, often a whole hidden formula. Emulsifiers like mono and diglycerides. Gums, seed oils. Anything labeled low-calorie, plant-based, or guilt-free tends to hide the exact stuff that messes with digestion or cravings. And here's the trick. If you see 10 ingredients you wouldn't keep at home, that pint probably won't feel good later. Read the label slow. It's like a map. Your stomach will thank you for it. Okay, so after testing way too many pints, seriously, way too many, I finally found 2 brands that don't wreck my gut. And no, this isn't sponsored, just my own trial and error talking. Rebel Creamery was the first one that actually felt steady. Real cream, egg yolks, monk fruit, erythritol. Research suggests this combo tends to keep glucose swings calmer, and the texture doesn't rely on all those harsh emulsifiers. It tastes rich without the uh-oh feeling after. Then there's Enlightened Keto Collection. It's not perfect. A few gums sneak in, but it's still miles cleaner than most grocery store options. Allulose plus monk fruit usually hits smoother, and the ingredient list reads like actual food, not a chemistry worksheet. So yeah, these 2, they're pretty much the only pints that don't make me regret dessert. You know what surprised me most? Ice cream itself was never the villain. The real issue was the stuff quietly mixed into it. Once I saw that, everything clicked. Research suggests the wrong ingredients tend to nudge your gut, your hormones, even your cravings in ways you actually feel. Not dramatic, more like this steady background noise your body keeps fighting. And when you're stressed, tired, or already inflamed, that noise gets louder. But here's the good news. Choosing the right pint flips the entire experience. Clean fats, real flavor, no gums, no seed oils, no mystery blends. Suddenly dessert feels like dessert again, not a bloating session waiting to happen. And honestly, the moment you start reading labels with intention, everything changes. Ice cream can stay in your life. Just pick the version that treats you better. Ever hear someone say, but the ice cream is cold, so the oils don't oxidize? I used to think that too. Then I dug deeper, and wow, the story is very different. Research suggests most industrial seed oils can be unstable before they ever touch the ice cream mix. They get processed with heat, pressure, oxygen, the whole deal. By the time they reach the factory, they might already carry oxidation byproducts your body has to deal with. Cold temperature doesn't undo that. And here's the tricky part. Your metabolism still reacts to the fatty acid profile, cold or not. For some people, that means sluggish energy, cravings, or that heavy feeling after dessert. So the temperature isn't the shield we hoped for. The real issue seems to be how the oils are created in the first place. If a pint uses seed oils, I skip it. My gut never thanks me afterward. You ever tell yourself, it's fine, I only eat this once in a while? I did that for years. And honestly, there is some truth to it.
The body usually handles rare treats way better than daily habits. But there's a catch. Research suggests the real trouble shows up when you're already dealing with brain fog, stubborn weight, gut irritation, or hormone swings. In those cases, even a monthly hit of emulsifiers, seed oils, or syrups might feel rougher than you expect. Not dangerous, just disruptive enough to notice the dip in energy or mood the next day. For others, an occasional scoop can feel almost like a tiny hormetic stressor, a little bump the body recovers from quickly. The difference depends on your current health, stress load, sleep, and blood sugar stability. So once a month? Sure, maybe. Just pay attention to how your system reacts. It usually tells the truth faster than the label does. Okay, so let's say you already ate the pint. No shame, I've been there more times than I want to admit. The good news? There are a few simple moves that seem to soften the blow. First one, walk. Just 20 to 30 minutes. Research suggests this might lower the typical glucose spike by a huge margin. And honestly, you feel lighter almost instantly. Next tip, timing. I try to eat dessert earlier in the day, ideally after lunch. My body handles it smoother, and the evening crash practically disappears. Some people swear by a little apple cider vinegar before the meal. The theory is that it helps slow absorption. But let's be real, it tastes rough, and I rarely do it. The point is simple. Don't sit still after dessert. Move a bit, hydrate, and give your gut a chance to recover. You know what? After going through all this, the picture looks much clearer. Ice cream isn't this dramatic villain. It's the hidden ingredients that tend to nudge your body off track. And once you spot those traps, everything gets easier. Read the labels slowly. Pick the pints with real ingredients. Notice how your body reacts. These tiny shifts usually stack up in the best way possible. And hey, if you want to dig deeper, I've got something coming that might help. A short guide about 5 everyday foods that often mess with your gut more than you think. Plus, a simple morning coffee tweak that seems to steady insulin for a lot of people. So stick around. More tips, more experiments, more ways to feel lighter without giving up the stuff you enjoy. Thanks for being here. See you in the next one.